Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Dr. Stone Season 4, Episode 14. Here we are with a... Last episode was fun, we're back in it. We had, Senku with a little help of Chrome, and also Zeno trying to triangulate the location of where this all started. We learned that Zeno already knew receiving transmissions and everything, because he had a radio too from the moon, so he already knew that the moon is an enemy. We have Stanley, who managed to get the information out of Ginro, who didn't want to see Matsukaze, or however you say his name. Sorry if I butcher that. But didn't want to see him tortured, so just immediately said where they were. So they're on the way. And yeah, I'm looking forward to more of this show, because I love it. So yeah, let's jump into it here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. I have no subtitles! Okay. I don't know what those first lines said, but considering that he said therein lies, I imagine it was just talking about the location. Super Alloy City. Okay, so they're doing both. Oh wow. Like, we also have to assume the landmass is still the same. Uh, okay. Oh my god! Yeah, that means... What's his face? Stanley's gonna catch up, I bet. Yeah, they don't have to stop. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, Senku has to already be thinking that, so he's gonna be already thinking up a plan. I feel like, right? It's very Senku-like. Its opening is pretty cool. The, the song isn't, like... isn't my favorite. No offense, but it just, like, it's a good song, but there's nothing about it that gives me that, like... You know, like a good build up to like a good chorus, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, this is hype, you know, or something. It's just kind of like the whole song just kind of feels like average, if that makes sense. I don't hate it, but I don't love it, right? This little last bit is not bad. Earth race. Okay. Man, my efforts feel like they'd be so wasted with Tsukasa around. Just seeing Tsukasa cut down like 8 trees by the time I can cut down 1, I'd be like, why am I even putting in the effort? Are they still dating? Oh my god. Taiju. That's crazy. He may not have been as fast as Tsukasa, but... Hmm. How nice of you, Tsukasa. Aww. He's trying to give everyone some extra rest. Hello! What is that? Or hell? I think it's supposed to say hello, right? Maybe? What is that? There are... Hell. We haven't seen Zeno. Is it just Zeno? Oh, her eyes are so good. Ah. I'm guessing it's supposed to say hello and the O is just like a kite that fell. Who did this? There's more people? Ugh. Who is this pumpkin man? What? What are you? Yeah, I was gonna say, it reminds me of Suika's face. Bad eyesight. They can't see, so they miss each other. Suika nailed it. Alright, let's make her some glasses. Him. It. I don't know. Yeah, glasses time. Alright, pumpkin. Okay, I think it's lady. It's Ricky. So is she not from the old world? Is she from current world? Dr. Chelsea. Wait, what? Okay, no, she is old world. It felt like... Wait, what? You glanced. That makes us BFFs. Interesting. Hmm. Yeah, so she is young. I was gonna say she looks young, but she was like at that fancy meeting, so is she actually older, but no, she's a teen. She was acting like she was acting like she didn't understand what glasses were at first. That's what confused me. She was like, "Oh, it's so weird," you know, but I guess if you've gone a while without. So how did she get. She just got washed somewhere? Hmm. LOL! What the heck? The face. So she just made clothes out of a pumpkin. She just got lost. Nice. Oh. Ran out of paint, okay. So I was wrong. It wasn't supposed to be hello with a kite missing. It was supposed to say help. Like how she had to, like, scan her brain. Oh, they have to build a raft. Unalive us for real. That's funny. Hmm. They have the science lab, right? I saw it on board. Oh, okay. We're making bikes. Never mind. Cool. Not not pedal bikes. We're making motorcycles. Okay. That's gonna be cool. Let's go. What a goober. Fill her in. Alright. Oh. She's got a lot of energy. I feel like she'll fit in well with our kooky group. He's standing right there. So rude. It's just a smug. Oh, Suika. Kind of looking up to her a little bit, I guess. Trying to recruit her. This looks more fun. I'll help the crap out of you. Chelsea has joined the party. Nice. Rubber. Tires. I guess their other tires aren't... Yeah. Rubber does have insane amount of uses. Hmm. You're so buddy-buddy. It is a weird relationship. I feel like they'd make a cute couple, but I know he's got his girl back home, even though it's unofficial. Hmm. Uh-oh. Is he already approaching? Yeah, he can hear him. Damn. Well, shit. That's like crazy tattoo on his face. Ginro, what are you doing? Oh shit. So he's got some radar experience. Hmm. Damn. Is Ginro gonna, like, somehow sabotage thing? I don't know. Will he make a move? Yeah. Hmm. sometimes she's learning. Maybe by explaining it, they find a way to counter it in some way. That happens a lot. I don't know. Check every harbor. I guess it's just ways to go on land. We need her super hands. Like a whole year knitting huge kites like a degenerate. Oh, the kites. Okay. Hmm. Smart. Damn, he's smart. Oh. That's a huge kite. Ah, yacht racing. That's why he would know that. Power team. Cool. Hmm. Okay. she's just she's just in. With a sign that says hell. Okay. You know what I'm a little confused on? Why is it a capital L? You know what I'm saying? If it was supposed to say help, right? Would it be H-E... If, like, the last L was supposed to be a P, right? It shouldn't have a line on the bottom. Although, before, it wasn't one big cloth, right? It was, like... So maybe this is different? Did she just write hell on it, just for the hell of it? Get it? But anyway. Oh well. I don't really care. I was just curious. But we met a new character, Dr. Chelsea. So that's interesting. So she's just a like genius teenager, although she did say she's like barely a teenager now, although she does still look very young, but anime, you know. By barely a teenager, does that mean she's 19 or what do people consider barely a teenager, you know? But yeah, so it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Uh but yeah, I'm glad. I'm always like skeptical when we get new people. Actually, that is it guys for episode 14. Um I'm always skeptical where it's like, oh, more people alive, you know, because for me, I got like I like the Zeno storyline now, but as we were going through it, it was like I just want to see more science stuff and explore the world. I don't want to deal with another group of people that we have to fight after we just got done fighting a group of people, you know. So it's like, but it ended up being fine. I like Zeno and I like the story and everything. So that's all cool. I'm fine with it now at this point and everything. But then we like got to this where it was like, oh, more people alive. Luckily, we blew through it and we just like brought her on board. It wasn't really a conflict. We didn't. I was worried we were gonna spend like 6 episodes on this like new group of people or something, you know. But no, it's just another girl that's a part of Zeno's like, you know, all the people that were there at the time that were told to stay awake. She was just another one that broke out maybe a little later and didn't have her glasses anymore, so she couldn't read the sign um and just went the wrong way. Yeah, so or I kind of like talked over the subtitles a little bit there and didn't fully read them, so maybe she did read the sign and just went the wrong way anyway. But either way, she's a very eccentric character. She's very cool and fun. I genuinely thought at first she was gonna be someone that like somehow left the one of the other settlements from Byakuya's original people, you know, that went down the generations and everything, just because when she finally had glasses, she's like, this is so weird. You know, like she had glasses before, but I guess it's just she has gone a year or so without them, so having them again just is weird. So, plus I didn't get her eccentric attitude, like where she calls things like weird and freak, and you know, she uses a lot of like younger kind of lingo, sort of. So, either way, it just kind of gave me the vibes like, oh, maybe she just doesn't know what glasses are. But no, she does. She had them before. She is from the old world. She was at that meeting because she was looking into the stuff that Senku was putting out his research on and everything to try to help. And we now have a navigator, which is really cool. She's going to help us with different materials around the world that we might not necessarily know where to get, and we would have had to stumble around and find, but that's the benefit of either releasing people or finding new people like that. Is now I mean, it is kind of convenient for the story where it's like they need to, you know, they need to outrun Stanley, they need to get to this, you know, in order for it to work, they had to find a shortcut or whatever. Luckily, they now have this navigator that knows of a shortcut. And to get there, they need rubber for the tires for their motorcycles. Luckily, we now have someone who's a geographer that knows where to find some rubber, or at least enough to make tires. So, yeah. Definitely convenient for the story. We kind of like, we're just given the character needed to accomplish what the next step of the story is. But the story is so fun and wacky, you know. I don't necessarily judge it and feel the need to judge it in that way, you know. So I'm perfectly okay with it. I just have fun watching the show, you know. And I'm like intrigued enough by just wanting to know what's up with Y-Man, how all this started, who did it, who's on the moon, what's going on there, and all that. So like whatever gets us there to find out those answers, I'm happy with. But yeah, we have another flow chart. I imagine we're gonna speed through this one pretty quickly because, you know, as I've talked about before, we only have so many episodes left. Like if this is the final season, so to get our answers. Like, is this? Let me double check that because I keep saying that and I'm starting to doubt it with the pacing that we have. Dr. Stone final season? Question mark. Oh, it's 3 parts. That's why. Okay. So we are gonna have another. So we're not finishing it here. In this this little 12 episodes or whatever we're gonna have. There's gonna be a 3rd part. Interesting. I'm glad I looked it up, so at least I know. But yeah, so part 1 premiered in January, part 2 premiered in July, and then part 3, final part, will be released later in the year. So I guess probably towards the end of 2025. This season will conclude the storyline of the anime adaptation of the manga series. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I guess we do have quite a bit more Dr. Stone in for us. It sounds like there will be another break, which means we'll move on to a different show and come back to Dr. Stone as soon as I can. But yeah, very interesting. I wonder, I've seen some channels wait until like it's close to this season start, like this part, like part 2 starting to start. I wonder if they realize that there's a part 3 as well that they're going to have to wait on. Because I know sometimes when there's a part 1 and a part 2, they'll wait until part 2 is very close and then they'll start part 1, so that way they don't have to have any kind of like gap or whatever. So I wonder if those reaction channels realize that they might end up having to wait and mess up their plans a little bit. But either way, okay. So aside from all that, we had Chelsea. I talked about that already. I really like the sailboat idea. By the way, if you guys hear whining in the background, it's my dog. I apologize. She's okay. She's just kicking a blanket around the floor and making a weird whining noise. She does that, so I apologize. But yeah. So the sailboat thing is really cool. We needed a way, and we had like the whole like tension with the radar and everything, which is just neat. I like Ukio's like despair because he's just like, there's like nothing we can do. Like you can't outrun this, right? Like they're gaining on us. They're already in range to constantly ping us. There's nothing like there's no hiding from those pings, you know. And but I guess the key is just make the ship faster. We had her with her, you know, tent that I love like her lingo too, where she's just like calling herself like a degenerate and stuff. It's like I do that a lot too. But like I talk about my like degenerate sleep schedule, like it's 1:46 a.m. right now, and I'm usually up until like 6 a.m. So like I talk about my own like degenerate sleep schedule and all that. So I like how she was just like, oh, I'm the freak that, or whatever she said. I'm the person that, you know, spent a year working on a kite that says help, and you know, I'm a degenerate. I can't remember the exact words, but it was just really funny. But yeah, we have this massive sail that kind of Zeno threw some science at us with talking about like the size of the sail and all that. And the reason this works is because we have Ryusui, who's a insanely good captain who can manage to control the speed that we're gaining, and then we have our muscle team who can, you know, manage to hold that sail without it just, you know, tearing railings off the ship and, you know, stuff like that. They can like hold that down. So very cool. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the motorcycles. And you know, it seems like we're parking on the edge. We are gonna drive through the Amazon on the motorcycles to a river, and then we are gonna build a raft and just coast down the river. I wonder if they're gonna find a way to hide their boat so Stanley doesn't see it, and then he has to go all the way around to like do that inlet, or are they gonna be able to, you know, just keep pinging the boat and they're gonna see where they went, you know, and they're gonna have to figure out a path. Like they won't have the motorcycles, so it's like, what are they gonna do? I'm curious to see how that all works out. But yeah, we're trying to dodge as much of a conflict as we can. It's just so funny how Zeno is just like working with us, but also just biding his time until he can take over again, you know? It's like he could refuse to like talk to us and science and, you know, and all that, but instead he's like helping us until he doesn't want to help us anymore, and he's able to go against us again. It's just really interesting. So, but yeah, uh they did mention in the beginning of the episode that this is also where they want Super Alloy City. So that'll be, you know, they're kind of killing two birds with one stone by coming here. They can set up Super Alloy City and, you know, try to figure out what's going on with everything. But yeah, now that I'm like a little bit less like worried. I was super worried about the amount of episodes left with how much progress we were making. Now that I know that there's a whole nother part, I feel like a little more confident. Like I feel like we could spend this part getting a few more super cities going, and then the last part getting the last few super cities going, and you know, do the whole moon bit and everything and figure all that out. So yeah, I'm excited just to see like how our progression goes, and Like, do we resolve the Stanley thing in this part? Like, do we somehow deal with that, or are we on the run all the way until we rocket launch to the moon? I guess we'll have to find out. So, yeah, that'll be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. There'll be 2 extra episodes on my Patreon if you want to check out the early access tier on there. There's also the Patreon show tier where you can get shows that aren't even released to YouTube yet. Things like Free Run Solo Leveling and Dan, as well as The Expanse and the rest of Shogun that isn't released yet. So check all that out if you're interested. Links in the description below should be popping up on the screen. And I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.